Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you very much to give me a chance to present my slide in this Echumatoid workshop series. My name is Liedeman from British Water Aquaculture Development Center, Directorate General of Aquaculture, Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries, Republic of Indonesia. Now, I would like present my slide entitled Echumatoid Aquaculture relative to temperature and light intensity. So, in this season, I will talk about seaweed aquaculture status in Indonesia, and second, laboratory activities, and the third, echumatoid culture relative to temperature and light intensity, especially in South Sulawesi. Top 10 world seaweed production in 2015. China is number 1 and Indonesia is number 2 in seaweed production. But Indonesia is number 1 in production of tropical seaweed such as Cotonai, Spinosum, and Gracilaria since 2008. There are 5 main export commodities of fisheries sector. They are shrimp, tuna, crab, squid, and seaweed. Seaweed is number 1 in export volume, but seaweed is number 5 in export value. This is the culture seaweed in Indonesia. There are 3 species that culture in Indonesia. They are Capapicus alparezi or Cotonai, and Capapicus striatus or Sakot, and Eusuma spinosum or Eusuma denticulatum. And from this figure, we can understand that Indonesian seaweed production decreased from 2016 until 2018. The main constraint of seaweed, especially Capapicus alparezi cultivation in Indonesia, first is we have problem about seed, insufficient seed to support grow out production due to improper environment condition, and there is no selection to improve seed quality, and seed only produced by vegetative way, so we need other source of the seed. And the second, low production at dry season, probably due to the improper environment condition like light, temperature, and nutrients. And the third is we have problem about the disease. We have ice and also epiphyte. And based on the constraint for cultivation of Capapicus alparezi above, we do several laboratory activities. First, we produce seed of Capapicus alparezi from tissue culture. This activity start from 2015 until now. We collaborate with Siamo Biotrop, Southeast Asian Regional Center for Tropical Biology. The advantage of tissue culture is first, cell produced by tissue culture grows faster than conventional talus seed. Second, seed production is not depend on weather, and quality of seed produced through tissue culture can be controlled. This is the production stage of tissue culture of Capapicus alparezi. First, we collect parent stock of the seaweed. Collected and selected parent stock of Capapicus alvarezi will acclimatize in the greenhouse and also acclimatize in the culture room, and then we cut this talus in order to get the callus. We sterilize the talus, and then we induce this talus to produce callus. After we get the filamentous callus, and this filamentous callus will grow, become a solid callus, and this solid callus we will reculture in the PS medium, and after we get the propagule, we culture in the PES solution medium. Then this plantlet will grow until 0.5 to 1 gram, and this plantlet ready to culture in the sea. This plantlet produced from laboratory will acclimatize in the greenhouse, and then we culture in the floating cage for 2 until 3 months. In the floating cage, we still use the cover and also net in order to prevent from predator. We then culture in the sea for also 2 until 4 months, and then after we get 20 gram to 40 gram, this seed will be cultured, or this seed ready to culture by farmer. And the second activities, we produce it from spore of Eusebia. We collect the parent stock, mature parent stock from Papua, and then we try to release the spore. After that, we culture for 2 months, and then we get this size of the plantlet of the Eusebia. And for the next step, we will develop culture seeds attached on the polyethylene rope based on the Gracilaria method. So the fertile seaweed will put in the screen, and the screen will put in the container containing media and also substrate like a polyethylene rope. This is the polyethylene rope as a substrate. And this is the how we produce the seed attached on polyethylene rope for the Gracilaria. So based on this method, we will develop also for the Eusebia, like Capapicus alvarezi or Eusebia denticulata. And next, I would like to talk about eusebatoid culture related to temperature and light intensity. This study, supported by Japan Society for Promotion of Science, collaborated with Kagoshima University in February to March 2019. Based on constraint on Capapicus culture, then low production at dry season probably due to the improper environment condition like light and temperature. We study on euthymotoid culture related to temperature and intensity in South Sulawesi. Understanding of photosynthetic stress on Capapicus alpha resi and its recovery should be useful to understand correlation between low production in dry season and its environment condition. So we will observe photosynthetic parameter based on chlorophyll fluorescence of photosystem 2 measured by imaging pump pulse amplitude modulation. Maximum quantum yield of photosystem 2 has been used widely as a stress indicator of plant and algae caused by water stress, thermal stress, stress imposed by pollution and herbicide, and etc. And maximum quantum yield was measured after dark or dim adaptation that can repair the D1 protein damage by previous day high irradiance. Beer et al. 2014. And effective quantum yield describe the photosynthetic transfer electron per photon. So based on the maximum and effective quantum yield, we will observe combined effect of light and temperature and their potential of recovery. Here, electron transfer at light reaction of photosynthesis will produce fluorescence of chlorophyll, and the selected wavelength will analyze by this imaging pump, and will measure the effective quantum yield and also maximum quantum yield. Our sample source is from Indonesia, that is Capapicus alpha resi from Takalar, and Capapicus alpha resi come from tissue culture, and we transfer the material and measuring photosynthesis activities at Marine Botany Laboratory, Kagoshima University in Japan. This is the experiment condition for effect of irradiance on effective quantum yield. We use temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and light intensity from 10 to 1000 micromole photon per meter square per second. And for effect of light and temperature on potential recovery, we use a temperature of 20, 27, and 34, and we use 100 and 1000 micromole photon per meter square per second. And we use explant weight about 0.3 to 0.5 gram. Medium was sterilized water, and we observe maximum and effective quantum yield of photosystem 2, and we use 10 replicates. This is a measuring procedure of maximum and effective quantum yield using imaging pump. After we store the sample in the desired temperature, then we expose the material or our samples to desired light intensity. We expose like this, and then we put the thallus into a stainless steel tray containing sterilized seawater here, and then put the steel tray on the temperature block incubator, and we adjust desired temperature here. We acclimatize for 30 minutes for its temperature and light. Then the imaging pump will analyze the fluorescence and record maximum and effective quantum yield. This is the picture that we measure the effective and maximum quantum yield. And the result is for effective of increasing photosynthetic active radiation or irradiance and kinetic of effective quantum yield. Here, this is the maximum and effective quantum yield. The first we measure maximum quantum yield, and then we use several, we expose our sample from 10 to 1000 micromole photon per meter square per second, and this is from 10 to 1000 micromole photon per meter per square. We measure the effective quantum yield. So this is maximum quantum yield, and this is from here to here is the effective quantum yield. From this figure that we measure at 27 degrees Celsius, the effective quantum yield that describe electron transport rate of photosystem 2 was 0 here, from 800 to 1000 micromole photon per meter square per second at the temperature 27 degrees Celsius. And similar pattern to Capapicus alvarezi come from tissue culture. And for effect of photosynthetic active radiation and temperature on maximum and effective quantum yield and their potential of recovery, we use here maximum and effective quantum yield. So here we measure maximum quantum yield after dark acclimation, and also here maximum quantum yield after dim acclimation. And here we measure effective quantum yield after exposed to desired light intensity. Also here, also here effective quantum yield. From this figure, we can show that at 20 degrees Celsius, sample this Capapicus alvarezi can recovery. Also at 27 degrees Celsius, they can recovery, but at 34 degrees Celsius, at 1000 micromole photon per meter square per second, this Capapicus alvarezi cannot recover. Here, after we expose to the light intensity and no more effective quantum yield is 0, and after dim acclimation, the maximum quantum yield still very low in here. So this Capapicus alvarezi cannot recover at 1000 micromole photon per meter square per second. Also here we can see that at 20 degrees Celsius and 1000 micromole photon per meter square per second, there is no effective quantum yield. The value is 0 also at that 27 degrees Celsius and at the 34 degrees Celsius. And similar pattern for Capapicus alperezi come from tissue culture. This is also at 20 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Celsius, and 34 degrees Celsius. Here also the Capapicus cannot recover after dim acclimation here. But here, after dim acclimation, the Capapicus can recover. Here also can recover. So effective quantum yield was 0 after exposed to light intensity of 1000 micromole photon per meter square per second. And photosynthetic stress cannot be recovered at higher temperature of 34 degrees Celsius and higher light intensity of 1000 micromole photon per meter square per second. And photosynthetic stress can be recovered at temperature of 20 and 70 degrees Celsius at both irradiance of 100 and 1000 micromole photon. Higher light intensity during dry season may affect photosynthesis activities and growth of Capapicus alperezi in South Sulawesi. Here, the temperature and light intensity requirement of photosynthesis of Eschimotoid, and this is for Capapicus alperezi brown strain, and this is green strain. They need temperature here and the saturating irradiance here. That's mean from this table we can understand that saturating irradiance for Eschimotoid maximum 203 already get saturating. Also for the temperature, they need maximum 32 to 0.8 degrees Celsius. And this is the light intensity in Takalar, South Sulawesi in Indonesia. This is the light intensity at fine weather without cloud, and this is the light intensity at cloudy. This is the depth from 0 to 5 and also 0 to 5, and this is the light intensity. So from this figure we can see that at 0.5 meters from surface, the light intensity reaches 1428 micromole photon per meter square per second. This is at the fine weather without cloud, and when the weather cloudy, the light intensity reaches 148 micromole photon per meter square per second, and this is at approximately 0.3 meters from surface. So from this data we can understand that our Capapicus is cultured at the very high light intensity, especially when the weather is very fine and without cloud. And when we compare to the saturating irradiance required by Capapicus alperezi, that is only 133 to 185 micromole photon per meter square per second. That means at the fine weather without cloud, so the farmer culture Capapicus alperezi at the very height or outside ring of the requirement of light intensity. And this is temperature in Takalar, South Sulawesi. So at noontime, temperature was ranging from 31 to 33.5. And when we compare to the temperature required by this Capapicus alperezi is only 27 until 31 degrees Celsius. That means in the noontime, this Capapicus alperezi grow at the outside of ring of the temperature. In this August and September is the dry season. And we study about the effect of temperature and light on the growth of seaweed. This is a flight reset. This is a temperature and light intensity in Takalar and Bali, and then we compare what's the farmer culture at the location. So this is the Capapicus alperezi culture in Takalar, South Sulawesi in Indonesia, and this is the Capapicus alperezi culture in Bali, Nusa Lembongan, and this is the Capapicus striatum culture in Nusa Penida of Bali. In Takalar, the temperature and light is high. This is more than 33, and when the farmer culture Capapicus alperezi, so there is no growth, and the color also yellowish. And in Bali at the same time, in Nusa Lembongan, they culture Capapicus alperezi with the low temperature, below 25, and the Capapicus grow well in that area. In Nusa Penida, they culture Capapicus striatum, and when we measure the temperature, it's almost same temperature in Takalar, and farmer culture Capapicus striatum. So this is like a optional species for culturing in the dry season. Based on the constraint and our lab activities, we propose the future research and development. We will do applied research about effect temperature, light intensity, salinity, and nutrient on the growth and photosynthesis. And we'll continue to develop spore seeds culture technique. We'll observe habitat of sporophyte of Eusebia fertile in Indonesia, and we will use the nutrient and growth regulator to develop the culture technique. As summary, Indonesia is main production of tropical seaweed, but its seaweed production decreased in 2016. Several constraints of eusymatoid aquaculture are quality and quantity of seed, water quality, disease, and epiphyte. Low production during dry season is probably caused by higher light intensity or combination of higher temperature and higher light intensity. Doing experiment on photosynthesis and growth of eusymatoid cultivated in farming area is needed to confirm effect of light and temperature, also nutrient and salinity, especially in dry season. We need to develop seed production come from spore. Thank you very much and terima kasih.